The stories you've been told about Aphrodite, about beauty, desire, and divine charm are only the surface. Beneath the veil of roses and mirrors lies a darker, older narrative, one erased by poets and sanitized by scholars. What if the goddess of love, the icon of attraction, was born not of gentleness but of violence? Not of devotion but of cosmic cruelty? The familiar myth of her emerging from sea foam is seductive, almost comforting, but it conceals a primal truth few dare to acknowledge. Her origins are entangled with blood, power, and the raw mechanics of creation itself. Long before temples rose in her honor, before songs celebrated her laughter, there was a moment of terrifying genesis. Hesiod's Theogony gives one account. From the severed genitals of Uranus, cast into the sea, Aphrodite emerged, glistening and complete. It is a moment of dismemberment and creation, intertwined, a violent birth that challenges every notion of beauty as benign. The severing was not metaphor. It was political, intimate, and absolute. Uranus, the sky, had been overreaching, attempting to dominate the earth. Gaia, his own mate. Cronus, their son, acted decisively, cutting away not just flesh, but the old order itself. Aphrodite's appearance in the aftermath was a byproduct of brutality, a goddess birthed from the residue of a cosmic crime. Consider this: every hymn, every votive offering, every lover's plea to Aphrodite erases the blood behind her beauty. She is venerated for the gentle sway of her charm, yet her first emergence was an assertion of power through violence. Was her allure simply an instrument, a mechanism of influence developed over eons to manipulate gods and mortals alike? Or is there a darker psychological pattern in worship itself? A subliminal recognition that desire often follows trauma? The parallels ripple through human experience, the beautiful and the lethal, attraction entangled with danger, love inseparable from fear. Even Homer, centuries later, hints at her moral ambiguity. Aphrodite intervenes in battles, bending the fates of heroes, steering desire like a weapon. Paris is seduced, Helen abducted, and a war consumes the known world. Is this the work of a benign patroness of love, or the shadow of a goddess whose first breath was taken from bloodied sky? Each act of divine interference carries a calculated tension, a reminder that charm and chaos are two sides of the same coin. The irony is exquisite. Humanity venerates the force of attraction, oblivious that it is inseparable from subversion, manipulation, and the reshaping of power structures. And yet, there is something even more unsettling when we trace her origins through earlier cultures. In Near Eastern myths, goddesses of love, Inanna, Ishtar, are also entwined with war, mortality, and underworld journeys. Aphrodite inherits not only the seductive veneer, but a lineage steeped in conquest and the negotiation of death. Her Greek narrative abstracts and feminizes her origins, smoothing over the deadly pragmatism of earlier deities. But the undercurrent remains. Love is transactional, desire is strategic, and beauty is a form of currency that has always been lethal. The ocean from which she rises is not merely romantic imagery. In the pre-Hellenic imagination, it was chaotic, primordial, dangerous. To step from those waters was to be born from entropy itself. Aphrodite's very body becomes a map of power, a vessel containing the remnants of sky, blood, and water, a living symbol that creation and destruction are inseparable. Every cult statue, every temple, every invocation is a faint echo of that primal tension, a seduction paired with an implicit threat. To love is to confront your own vulnerability. To desire is to risk devastation. Even the myths of her companions betray this duality. Eros, often portrayed as playful, is an extension of the same principle, attraction as weapon. The mortal and immortal alike are ensnared, manipulated into decisions with consequences that ripple far beyond a single heart. Aphrodite's influence is never neutral. It is strategic, cunning, morally ambivalent, and historically consequential. To adore her is to participate in a long chain of cause and effect, where beauty disguises leverage and pleasure conceals obligation. Yet scholars often sanitize her story, framing her as a benign emblem of femininity, charm, or fertility. But each narrative thread that survives whispers otherwise. The goddess of love was born from dismemberment. She thrives on manipulation, and her interventions, whether in the Trojan, war, or mortal romance, reshape worlds. This is a deity who embodies the paradox of desire, irresistible, yet inescapably tied to consequence. There is no pure love here. There is only power disguised as beauty, seduction built on the memory of violence. Perhaps the most disturbing thought is that humanity has never fully escaped this pattern. Our myths, our psychology, our rituals of desire mirror hers. The stories we tell in candlelit bedrooms, in whispered courtships, even in public arenas, echo the same primal truth. That attraction is inseparable from strategy. That charm is often armor for darker impulses. That every encounter with beauty carries an ethical and psychological weight. Aphrodite, then, is not just a mythological figure. She is a mirror, an unsettling reflection of the forces that govern human hearts. The risks we take, the manipulations we endure, and the bloodied origins from which our ideals of love arise. And so the next time her image greets you, serene and untroubled in marble or paint, remember the hidden narrative, that the goddess of love emerged from violence, that her first breath was the echo of severed sky, that every smile she offers contains the memory of cosmic dismemberment. To admire her is to confront a truth most worshippers overlook. Beauty is a battlefield, desire is a weapon, and even the most cherished goddess harbors a shadow that humanity has long been taught to ignore. In the end, perhaps the most provocative question is this: do we love Aphrodite? Or do we worship the ancient mechanics of survival, power, and manipulation she embodies? Is our fascination with her charm a tribute to the goddess herself, or an unspoken acknowledgement that the raw, untamed forces of creation and destruction still pulse beneath every human desire? And as history whispers through the corridors of myth, the unsettling answer remains: love was never innocent, and the goddess we thought we knew was born from the very chaos we refused